Hello, friends. Welcome to another Thursday Night Live. Tonight, we are going to be making a gorgeous, gorgeous handmade card using ink blending and heat embossing and the two different stamp sets, the Sketched Butterfly stamp set with the Comforting Thought stamp sets. These are both amazing. You're going to love them. You're going to love them. Before I get started, a big shout out to everyone who is joining me live. This is my last pre-recorded live video, so I will be back next week. And I am so excited to get back with y'all live. I'm so excited. If you're here and joining me live, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about butterflies. Is it too summery? Is it getting to be too fall for butterflies? I don't know. Let me know. If you're watching the replay, special welcome to you as well. I love that y'all come back later and watch that replay. Let me know what you think of butterflies, and let me know if you've done some ink blending. How about that? If this is your first time here, welcome. I am Heidi with Onigo Stamping. I'm going to help you reconnect with your inner artist using stamps, ink, and paper to make gorgeous handmade cards and gifts that your family and friends are absolutely going to love. They are going to know how much you care about them with these cards. And I have one for you tonight. I hope that you like it. I'm going to go ahead and make my workspace look just a little bit bigger so we can jump in and get started. And there we go. Here is the Sketched Butterfly stamp set, which is so beautiful. And it has tons of great sentiments with it as well, including birthday, thank you, thinking of you. So good for lots of different seasons. But I have found myself recently needing cards for situations that there's nothing good to say about. Like, they're just really cruddy situations, right? So I realized I kind of overlooked this one, and I found it. It is Comforting Thoughts, and let me tell you, it is perfect for all of those horrible situations where a card just doesn't really cut it, and there's no good words for it. In fact, there's a sentiment that says, I don't have all the right words to say. There's a sentiment that says, there's no good card for this, because there really isn't. I'm so sorry. You're not alone. We're here for you. I wish I could make this better. Like, it just, I don't know. It's so often it's hitting for me what's on my heart and what I want to say, because they're just, it just stinks. There's just stinky things going down. All right. So that's what we're going to do. But we're going to make a gorgeous card to go with a cruddy sentiment, because I like the juxtaposition of that. So I'm starting with a piece of basic white. This is, let me measure it. I'm using my glass mat tonight. This is 3 3/4 by 4 inch. Okay, 3 3/4 by 4 inch. We are going to do some ink blending, and I should have gotten out my ink pads before I started here. I didn't, because I'm forgetful. All right, we need peach pie. We need pumpkin pie and melon mambo. It's like my favorite color combination, pink and orange. Ooh, let's get this down where we can see it. So peach pie, pumpkin pie, melon mambo, pink and orange. I don't know about you, but I love a good pink and orange. I hope that's all. I hope that I did not use berry burst. Wait, did I use berry burst on this? Oh, I think I did. Maybe I didn't use melon mambo. Maybe I just used berry burst. No, that's melon mambo and berry burst. Let's add in some berry burst. I think we're going to need it at the end. Just a little, a little more pink. There we go. It's been a while. I made the sample a while ago. I don't remember what I did. I'm going to start with my lightest color. Hopefully I can find my blending brushes. I moved them out of the way a little bit ago. Let's go ahead and grab some of these. I have a couple of them to start with. I'm going to start with some pink. Not pink. I'm starting with the peach pie. All right. I need my little white mat. So I'm using the glass mat today. The glass mat. And y'all, you'll notice in another video, I'm going to talk about how I forgot to wet down my chamois. I still forgot to wet down my chamois. You'd think I'd think ahead. I don't. All right, but the glass mat comes with this white pad here. I'll move this down so you can see it a little bit better. It comes with this white pad that sticks to the glass mat, which makes it really nice to hold your ink pad to do your ink blending. So I'm just going to put it up there. I'm going to kind of try to get it in camera here. I like to be really pulled in so you can see what I'm doing, but then at the same time, it's hard to get everything in the camera. So, all right, I'm going to ink up my blending brush with a little peach pie, tap it off on my glass mat. I'm going to start off the edge and start blending. I still got a bunch right there in the corner, didn't I? It's okay. We'll make it work. We're going to make this really saturated, so I think it's going to be just fine. Pick up a little bit more. Come back in. I'm going to go ahead and grab some more. Tap that off. Come back a little bit further. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. All right. There's our peach pie. Let's go ahead and try some pumpkin pie on there as well. We got all the pies, the peach pie and the pumpkin pie. There should be more pies. I love pie. Do you love pie? I love pie. Although peach, I don't like peach pie. I like pumpkin pie. I'm not a fan of peach. Apple's my favorite. All right, so we're coming in with some pumpkin pie. And we're just going to add this in below the peach pie. So kind of start out with a light touch and then bring it in darker. So adding some pumpkin pie in there. I'm going to grab some more, tap that out. Ooh, that got a little bit dark right there. That's okay. I'm just going to blend that together. So pretty. So pretty. Let's pick up some of this. Add some more in here. I really want to get this nice and saturated. Get a good saturated look to this. All right, so we'll stop there for now. We're going to probably come back with all of these colors. There is our pumpkin pie. Let's grab some melon mambo. There's our melon mambo. I'm going to switch blending brushes to more of a pink one. Tap that off as well. Turn this around. And starting off the edge, still got way too much. My ink pads are really juicy right now, but that's okay. And we're just going to start blending those together, bringing that pink into the orange. And coming all the way down most of the way. So there we go. Oh, so pretty. All right, let's come back in with some Berry Burst. Let's put down our first layer of Berry Burst on here. Oh, that's really dark down there. That's okay. I got some on my vellum. I have vellum on here so that my lights don't glare at you. All right, so we have some nice Berry Burst. I'm going to grab just a little bit more. Like I said, we're making this really saturated. We're not doing soft ink blending. We are doing saturated ink blending. So there we go. There's our Berry Burst. I'm going to come back with the Melon Mambo now and add some more. Add some more of that Melon Mambo. All right, let's tap that out a little bit. Pick up some Melon Mambo and come back in and just blend that up some more. Oh, look how pretty that is. Getting those double layers on there, bringing that all the way up. We're going to put away the Melon Mambo. I'm going to grab some pumpkin pie. Again, we'll switch back to our orange blending brush. Tap that out on your glass mat. And then come back in. And now we're going to go over where that Melon Mambo was and just pull that in together. Blend those two together really well and get a nice saturated color. Let's pick up just a little bit more. There we go. So pretty. And pick up a little ink off your glass mat. That's kind of the nice thing about the glass mat is you can tap off the extra ink and you can pick up the extra ink. So there is the pumpkin pie. I'm going to come back one more time with the peach pie and add that in over the top. I'm going to just turn this around so you can get at that area. Let's tap this out a little bit. Pick up some more peach pie and bring that back in up here. Pull that right down into that pumpkin pie so they're blending together. There we go. And I'm accidentally picking up a little bit of melon mambo off the sides of my glass mat. I probably should wipe my glass mat after each color, but we're just going with it. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Really, really pretty color. All right. We are going to put these away. I'm going to quickly, I don't want this to dry too much. I'm going to quickly grab my regular chamois. Just kind of wipe this up. There was a lot of melon mambo on there. Wipe this all up. It's the nice thing about the glass mat, though. It just wipes away. Fingers are probably getting dirty. Done a lot of stamping today. All right. We're going to come in. I'm going to grab this one. Yeah, we're going to grab a water painter. Now I'm going to try to put some water onto this thing. And then I'm just going to splatter it. So I'm just running it over the cap. I'm holding the cap here and just flicking that water over the cap. And you'll see we're going to start to get water spots. Easy little technique to kind of add some texture into the background. Let's get just a little bit more. Loosen up that. And just a little bit. It's almost out of ink or out of water. I was using it earlier, didn't refill it. Go. So we got lots of water spots on there, some big ones, some little ones, just kind of making it look a little messy. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. All right. We're going to do a little bit of drying. I'm going to hit this with my heat tool just because we are going to emboss over this. And if we don't get it really nice and dry, the embossing powder is going to stick where we don't want it. So we're just going to hit this with the heat tool and just make sure it's nice and dry. Get all the ink dry, all that water that I just splattered on it dry. Get everything nice and dry. So we can do some embossing. Seems pretty good. All right, I'm going to grab my embossing essentials tray, which is now full with embossing powder. All right, I wanted to show you this. This is kind of one of the reasons I'm doing embossing tonight. So these are the old Stampin' Up! Embossing powders. Stampin' Up! Is no longer carrying those ones. I'm going to set them aside. They have the new, they have the Wow, Metallics Wow, so Metallics Wow embossing powder. That's their new metallic embossing powder. And then they have the Basics, again, the Wow embossing powder. So that's what we're going to use. I'm going to use the black on this, so we'll set the rest aside. The Embossing Essentials Toolkit, if you don't have this yet, you definitely need it. It comes with a little tray to tap off your embossing powder in. It comes with an embossing buddy, a little brush to kind of clean out your tray, get all the extra pieces of embossing powder off it. And it comes with cross clamp tweezers to hold on to things. I love these. These I use all the time. I'm going to set the tray aside while we do the stamping and things. I am going to rub my embossing buddy over this whole thing. So hopefully we don't get stray bits. There we go. All right. And now I'm gonna use some paper just to stamp on. Got some scrap paper here. I'm gonna grab my Versamark ink pad. There's my Versamark pad. And we're gonna stamp some butterflies on here. How about that? We're gonna do some butterfly stamping, shall we? All right, so ink up this big one. I'm gonna stamp a great big one right here. And I'm gonna stamp another big one right here. Then I think we'll do a medium one. I always like to start with the biggest image first. Let's do a medium one there. Maybe a medium one up here. Trying not to overlap them, trying to get them. I know you can't see it, but those images are just kind of shiny. There you go. You can see it there. So I can see where they are and just try to get in around them. All right, let's use a smaller one now. Hopefully that is pretty good. All right. Put the cover on my Versamark because otherwise you will end up with embossing powder in your Versamark tray, and that is not, or in your Versamark pad. That's not what you want. You do not want embossing powder in your Versamark. So I pulled out the tray here. I'm just going to dump on the black. Dump it all on. And I have a fan going, which is probably a really bad plan, but it is what it is. All right, let's just start tapping that off a little bit so I can pick it up. We'll see how we did getting all the getting all dry and emboss powder or embossing buddy, all that kind of good stuff. Try not to just tap the back a little bit. I'm going to come in. This brush comes with it. I do not use this brush to pick up strays. I find that I don't really like it. I use a really soft watercolor brush to pick up strays. So, this out of the way real quick. So just very, very carefully get some of those strays out of there. There we go. And then I pull them off the brush. Oh, up here, that's where I want it to come in. That's pretty good. All right, let's dry this. Let's heat it, set it. And then I'll dump all the powder back in the bin. I just kind of want to get it set first. Ooh, I'm sticking my fingers in it. See, that's why I need to get it set. Because I stick my fingers in things. All right. So I'm going to zap this with my heat tool. And we just want to keep going until it turns shiny. All right. So until it turns shiny, ooh, there we go. There's that one. So pretty. In there. And we're going to glue this all down, which is going to help take out some of this warping we're seeing happening. And just make sure it's all done. There we go. All right. So there we go. There's our gorgeous butterflies. Oh, so pretty. Oh, so, so pretty. All right. I'm going to set that aside. Let's dump our embossing powder back in. We need to do just a little bit more embossing, but first we need to do just a little bit of die cutting. So Did you see what I did? You should make sure that the embossing powder is not sitting right at the bottom when you take the cap off. It's a good thing there's a lot of embossing powder in these little tubs. Can hardly even tell. Still full. And now I use the stiff brush and come in here and brush out the tray. This is just going to get all the rest of it in. I'm not going to worry about doing too good of a job though, because we're actually going to do a little bit more embossing with black in just a second. I am going to try to figure out how I'm getting this off my table though. Normally I would have like a Kleenex or something. You know what? We're going to grab my, oh, that did not work very well. Oh, I wanted like, oh, you know what? I have some Swiffer sheets here. That's what I usually use to pick up stray embossing powder, but there we go. It's all good. Chaos tonight, chaos. All right, let's do some die cutting. I'm gonna grab, I think I used the Greetings of the Season dies. Yeah, I use these ones right here. So I'm gonna use this one right here. This is just a full set of different tags. It's great. I ordered more magnetic inserts because I have run out. They have not come yet. So they're just kind of thrown in there, which drives me crazy. So I'm going to use this one though. We're going to make some cuts with this. We'll have some peach pie, some melon mambo, and some berry burst. And we're going to cut one of each of these. I'm going to try to cut two at once, so we don't only have us run through twice. All right, we'll line those up at the end. Just like that. And then I don't really want this end. We really just want this end. So I'm going to put it on this way. Put the top on. And I'm going to run this through my cut and emboss machine. See how I did cutting two at once? Yep, just fine. All right. So there we go. We have two of those and we want one more. So I'm going to cut one from the peach pie. Put that on there. Put the top on. Run this through my cut and emboss machine. All right. There is that last piece. Set that someplace where I don't lose it. It's a little bit of chaos over here on my desk right now. All right, so we have three of these. Come on. Three of those. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to emboss on the peach pie one. Peach pie. So let's put some embossing buddy on there. Grab my Versamark ink. I am going to grab the sentiment that says cancer sucks, because it really does. And I am just going to stamp that right on this peach pie one. And then we're going to emboss this. So we're going to bring back in the embossing tray. My black embossing powder. Tap that off. That looks pretty good. Let's see if we can do this. Well, let's come back to this. We're going to come back to that again. Let's heat this. And again, with the embossing powder, you just want to do it until it turns shiny. There we go. So there is that sentiment right there. Whoops, there we go. Get that in the camera for you. And what I want to do is I want to put 3 of these. I'm going to put 3 of these on here. So we're kind of making a bannery thing at the top here. Kind of do it like this. A bouquet of banners. I don't know. So it's going to be like that. That's what we're going to do at the top. I'm going to glue down the berry burst one. It is getting glued flat. Flat as a pancake. Bring it in here. And then I'm going to put on the Melon Mambo one, but I'm going to put a dimensional at the end of that. Okay, so we're putting a dimensional down there. And I want this to be about there. So we're going to have a dimensional at one end, and I'm going to put some green glue at the other end. Right. This is going to go like this. I think I got that a little bit lower than what I wanted, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it. Maybe got some glue on my table, but that's okay too. And then this one will go in the center. Yeah, I think I got those too even. Can I switch this up? Let's do it like that. See if that's better. There we go. And then this one's going to go in the center. Again, I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on here. I'm going to put them a little bit further towards the center though. And then we'll put a little bit of green glue on the end, just like I did before. I just like the way that that gives it a look like it's waving or something. It's popped up. So there we go. There's our sentiments. And I'm just going to come and flip this over, grab my Stampin' my paper snips, and just clip those off. So that all just lines up on that edge. Yeah. And then this, our cord is coming together. What do you think? Are you liking it so far? I hope so. Let's take this. We're going to put this down flat on a piece of basic black. I don't remember how big I told you the white was. The white was 3 3/4 by 4. So the black is 3 7/8 by 4 1/8. Let's just put that right on there. There we go. So pretty. So pretty. And then we need to grab some baker's twine, the black baker. I wish they just sold the black. Get rid of the other color. Well, okay, just black and white. Like, I feel like the crumb cake and whatever that color is are useless because I can just use linen thread. I want white and black. I want to just be able to purchase them separately, but oh well. What can we do? All right. I'm going to come in here and tie a bow. This is where I mean, like, the sentiment is, like rough and edgy, and then it's the super pretty butterflies and pink and orange. I just like the juxtaposition of it. The contrasting. So, oh, that is way too loose. We're going to have to retie that. Let's trim this. Let's cut this. Try again. What we can do, you know what? Look, I was talking about the cross clamp tweezers. Here is the perfect time to bring in the cross clamp tweezers. They're in the embossing toolkit. So if you're embossing something really small that you don't want to burn your fingers on, you can hold it with the tweezers. But they also work really good for when you're trying to tie bows and holding that center while you tie the loops. All right, there we go. So pretty. So pretty. This still needs to go on a card base. I just want to trim up this end. I have a sticky note stuck to my scissors. Oh my goodness. I'm going to just try to twist these ends up a little bit by pulling them over my fingers at a big angle. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Nope. Let's try it over my scissors. It's got to be like a big angle though, because otherwise it'll just make it straight, which it's just making it straight today. All right, we're going with straight. That's what we're doing. No twisty curliness. I feel like that is hit or miss. Sometimes it really works, and some days it doesn't. All right, so this is going to go on a Melon Mambo card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I, of course, have more samples to show you. If you need any of the supplies, if you need to grab this embossing essentials pack, or you need to get some new embossing powders or whatever, new heat tool, there's a link in the description of this video. You can pop over to my online store and grab what you need. Whenever you order at least $75 in the month, you are going to get a free make and take kit for the next month's online card class. Next month, we are using the Changing Leaves stamp set. So make sure you pop over there and grab what you need and get ready. Make some pretty cards. Grab this Comforting Thought stamp set because it just seems perfect for so many things. All right, there we go. There's our finished card. What do you think? I'm holding down the glue while I finish this drying. So pretty. Oh. All right, so that is one card, but I have a couple more ideas for you. For these other ideas, I used the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. So this one, the die set, I didn't really show you the die set because we didn't use it, but the die set has the open dies to cut out the stamped images. And then like this one has this die right here, which will cut the inside. So I use those two together. And then these two, it's the same way. This cuts the outside and this cuts the detail. And that's what I did for these butterflies here. And I actually cut them out of the glimmer paper. Woo! The 2024-2026 in color glimmer paper. I cut those out to make those little butterflies. So they're all sparkly. They are in Summer Splash and they are super sparkly. There we go. That is card number two. Card number 3. This one I really like too. So here again, I use the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper for this. I stamped the large butterfly, and then I colored it with Stampin' Blends in Peach Pie and Pumpkin Pie. So it's just an orange one. And then I embossed with white on black and added that emboss strip. And then just to kind of tie it together, because I kind of like to, I don't know, not have just always have just a floating image in the middle. So I wanted to kind of, why is it there, right? So I added this line across here using some more black baker's twine. All right, so there we go. There are my 3 cards for this evening. Gorgeous cards. Where's my mouse? Gorgeous cards using ink blending and embossing. And I hope that you like them. I hope, if you don't, like I said, if you don't have that Comforting Thought set yet, I feel like everyone needs it. Because even though we don't like to make those cards are the ones that can touch people's hearts the most, right? So, all right. That's it for this evening. I will be back next week. I'm going to be live next week, live for real next week. Next week, what are we doing? Let me see. Next week, we're doing a technique. I have no idea what that technique is going to be. I have not figured that out. But by the time I get back, I will know what that technique is going to be. And I will see you next week, Tuesday. Watch for the supply list on Monday afternoon in the description to the video. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.